Today's stories include Xbox's summer showcase is getting a big Outer Worlds 2 breakdown, Razer pauses their laptop sales in the US, and some nice new PlayStation features. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Hello, gamers. Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. I am Andres Cortez, and I'm joined by Roger Pocorni.
Oh, I like that. When I was in Spanish class, they would call me Rogelio.
Rogelio, okay.
Yeah. And I like that, but I also don't like it. For some reason, it makes me feel like a soccer player, which I don't feel like I'm worthy of that. So.
You played soccer?
Yeah, I did.
Recently.
Broke my... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fiance broke her ankle.
Broke her ankle.
It's done. Done.
I was gonna say a friend of mine. I haven't talked to him about like 25 years. But shout out Rogelio, who born the same birthday as me.
Oh,
it was always February 16th. Me and Rogelio. Yeah.
Wow.
And then
beautiful.
I saw him pop up on MySpace 10 years later, or on Facebook 10 years later, and it was like Roger. I was like, who the fuck is Roger? I was we never called you Roger, bro.
Oh, interesting.
You were Rogelio.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. This is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news that you need to know about.
No fucking around.
Live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. Now, before we started the show, Roger, you asked me, what's your favorite cereal?
Yeah.
And then you said, no, I want to guess.
Yeah. Okay, so let's work with me, chat, right now. Because if we're thinking about Andy Cortez, right, he likes all the fake flavors, right? He likes all the energy drinks with artificial everything in there. So my brain goes to, like, Fruity Pebbles, right? But...
That's a good guess.
But you strike me as an enigma. You strike me as somebody who might be into honey bunches of oats.
Ooh.
I don't know. You seem to me like a honey bunch of oats, but that's not even my final answer. I think you might be a honey nut Cheerio guy. That's my final guess right there. That's my final guess right there.
First off, Fruity Pebbles, way off.
Wow.
I would never fuck with a Fruity Pebble.
Whoa,
I wouldn't be caught in the same room as a Fruity
Whoa.
Pebble.
I get Roger's thought process there, though, of like artificial flavors, all that stuff.
Now, here's the thing. Cocoa Pebbles. Oh,
okay.
Oh, I didn't take you as a chocolatey guy.
Love Cocoa Pebbles. Love them.
But are you a chocolatey guy?
That's a great point, and that's a great observation by you. I'm not necessarily a chocolatey dude, but the thing about Pebbles, you got to eat them way faster, and they get soggy really, really quickly. So it's like I love Cocoa Pebbles, but only under the correct circumstances. Honey Nut Cheerios, yes. I really love. I eat them without milk. Like,
okay, that's fine.
I like doing the handful. Yeah. Honey Bunches of Oats, great call. I used to do that a lot.
Yeah, I do that with peanuts in them. Notoriously.
Yeah.
Every day. Just a little bit.
What does he toss in? Jalapenos? What does he
Sometimes I'll put a little bit of extra salt in there, and then sometimes I would overshoot it. That's an issue.
You putting some cumin? What are you doing?
Sometimes. Just a little bit.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. I should have called that one. That's like
Crunch.
That's a generic one, but like it's a good one. It's a great one.
I think
but also you have the same issue though, because like when you put enough milk in there, they just get too soggy. Like they don't have enough structure.
I think because the Fruity Pebbles lack real estate and like size that they have. When the Fruity Pebble and the Cocoa Pebble lacks the size, it becomes soggy faster. Fastier is what I said.
Yeah, I mean,
I really lost my Wilson fist.
Yeah, that was rough.
But here's the thing, Roger.
Oh shit,
it's back. The Penguin.
We're so back.
We're right back into it. If you love what we do, probably I don't know why you would support us with the Kinda Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, and now Spotify and Apple Podcasts. To get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show for a chance to be a part of the show. Submit your thoughts and opinions as super chats as we go. Housekeeping Friday, massive day. We kick off the Elder Scrolls Online podcast, a Kinda Funny Gamescast limited series. Join Greg, Mike, and ZeniMax Online Studios director Matt Fyror and Elder Scrolls Online game director Rich Lambert as they start an unflinching 4-part show about the highs, lows, successes, and failures of the 10-year-old game. Greg calls it the deepest dive of his career, and it all kicks off Friday as your normal Gamescast, as well as the Elder Scrolls Online YouTube. We never get to this level of depth from developers, so don't miss it if you want to know how games really get made and keep going. I was surprised by the premise of this whole pitch, and then I saw Mike playing it, and I was like, what are you doing, Mike? He was like, I'm playing Elder Scrolls. Like, oh, you have an account? He's like, oh yeah, I'm like, I have like 100-something hours in this game.
Yeah.
Which is shocking to me.
Yeah, did not know that.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. But that all sounds amazing. Everybody tune in Friday for that.
Hell yeah.
Remember, we're a little small baby business. We're just little babies, okay? Just a bunch of us. We just need somebody to hold us. We need your monetary help, your eyes and your ears. We're just a small little business. And today, after Kind of Funny Games Daily, you'll get the Gamescast. Tim and Blessing talking about video game music quiz. And after Gamescast is a sponsored stream from Monaco 2.
Wow.
It's going to be a little bit of a collaboration.
Can we say?
A little competition, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
There's an embargo.
the stream is already technically up on YouTube, so yeah.
We're playing against Giant Bomb. Or we're beating Giant Bomb, should I say.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm laying it down right there. Thank you to our Patreon producers. Anatoly asked, Delaney Twining, Carl Jacobs, and Omega Buster. And I also forgot that if you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Gregway is being done by Blessing.
Yeah, huge. He looked at me and said, how do you record a Gregway? And I said, don't worry about it.
I do remember that, yeah. It happened a little while ago. I'm not going to go into the intro quite yet, Barrett. Faked you out. Because last night I played a demo.
It's like jazz with you. You know what I mean? Like, I never know if you just want to get to the intro. You just like, hey, I just want to get the show over with. Or no, we're going back.
Keeping you on your feet. Yeah, it's jazz, but yeah, in a 7/8 music measure. Last night I played a demo for a game that I've been very excited by.
Okay.
Since we saw at the PlayStation Showcase. It is called Metal Eden.
Metal Eden.
Metal Eden, it's essentially just a super futuristic Doom-looking game. A lot of people in chat were like, Andy, what's the hook of it? Is it? And I was like, look, it's just a straight-up campaign.
Okay.
You're not rogueliting. Somebody in chat was like, wait, so you're telling me this isn't a deck builder roguelite, what multiplayer? And I was like, no, it's just a campaign, futuristic first-person shooter. Feels a lot like Doom. It
looks like Doom.
As soon as the key art popped up, I went on a little spiel and I was like, man, I love when a game developer can retain a look, right? When employment means that people get to stick around and people aren't jumping ship all the time and you get to form an identity because Raycon, the people that we're watching right here, not Ray J's earphone, earbud
and gaming
company.
Stuff.
No, his Raycon is REIKON, and they developed Ruiner many years ago. Ruiner came out in 2016, 2017, I believe. Really awesome game, top-down sort of shoot 'em up with one of the best aesthetics in gaming you've ever seen. It's such a great vibe, and I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. The key art popped up, and I said, look at that. That's so recognizable because I played Ruiner. Yeah. And immediately I'm like, look at this studio's identity. And then people in chat told me, actually, last year they laid off 80% of their workforce.
That is...
And that they finished, I think the last year of development on this game, they had, I don't know, something like 15 people working there. So something very, very small. Those numbers are all kind of arbitrary because a bunch of different articles had different numbers up. It was 70 people laid off, 60 people laid off, 80 people laid off. I don't really know. But that kind of stinks. But when we saw this thing previewed at the PlayStation Showcase, I was like, oh, wow.
This looks gorgeous.
This looks pretty damn good.
Now, safe space? Is it safe space?
Sure.
I thought the game was named Runner. Every time I would see it, I thought it was...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was Runner until just now. So I was like, oh.
No, Runner's something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, their first game, Ruiner.
Ruiner.
Very cool vibes. Very red and cyberpunk. And
that looks awesome, though. That game looks sick. And
Metal Eden demo is out, available. It's available everywhere.
You ever released it?
Played it on Steam. I think it's May 7th.
Ooh.
And immediately people in chat were like, oh, cool, demo's out now. And they were coming back 20 minutes later going, runs like shit on console. So I don't know how the console performance necessarily is. Apparently it's not super great. Ran great on PC. If you have a really good machine.
Is it a contender?
I don't know yet. I don't think so. It's fun enough.
Yeah. Well, is there any difference? Is there any hook here?
The hook of it is you are first person shooting and smaller enemies, you can yank their core out. And everybody knows I love yanking cores. All right. It's re-core all over again. Except here, the yanking of the core, not as satisfying as I would have hoped. You know, there's a cool thing about a re-core where you are kind of shooting the enemies and then you have to it takes a while. There's like a push and a pull to take, to yank that core out. Here you are, the core is kind of like your main means of shaping a Doom-like gameplay loop where if you take the core out and you absorb it, it gives you health and it makes you powered up to where if you can melee one of the larger enemies that are shielded, their armor breaks off and then they are way weaker. So it'll make your melee stronger and it'll heal you, or you could toss it at enemies and it delivers. You can level this up as well. You can the explosion will kind of have like a little AoE explosion effect. If a lot of enemies are around, they will all get affected. But then when they die, they will also drop ammo. And so you're kind of in that push and pull mechanic of I need a health, but I also maybe need ammo.
Love that.
Whatever the hell. It's kind of a cool thing. It's just the core feeling of yanking the core. It doesn't feel.
It doesn't feel like heavy or like is that what you want? Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a loose core.
Now we all hate a loose core, Roger. But the sound design of this main pistol that you have, and you have an AR and a shotty, they all felt really, really damn good. Controlling on keyboard and mouse, weird. I had the sensitivity down to like 15, and I was like, let me drop it down a little bit further. I was like, let me keep on going. I got down all the way to 0. I was like, it feels like there's a weird
like a little smoothing
mouse
or something.
acceleration.
Yeah.
It said smoothing was off, but I don't believe it. I don't know. It didn't feel perfect, you know. But I think it's, for a demo, for something that's out in a month where they can maybe iron out all those issues. It's something I'm looking forward to, and I got to assume it's going to be a pretty short game, you know what I mean? But today we're brought to you by BetterHelp, Roger. We'll tell you all about that later. Wow. It's Jazz here, baby. For now, let's begin what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 7 stories today.
A baker's dozen.
The Roger Report.
Whoa.
We can call it that one.
I like that.
Xbox Game Showcase, followed by the Outer Worlds 2 Direct airs on June 8th. This is from Joe Screbbles at Xbox Wire. 11 minutes of an Outer Worlds gameplay video is out now on IGN. It's on IGN First. I got to watch some of it before the show. And the story goes like this. Make space on your calendar. The Xbox Game Showcase 2025 will be live streamed on Sunday, June 8th, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time, following in the footsteps of the 2023 Starfield Direct and 2024 Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Direct. This year, we will again have a double feature with the Xbox Game Showcase immediately followed by the Outer Worlds 2 Direct. It all begins with our annual Xbox Game Showcase, bringing you a look at our upcoming titles from across our first-party studios, in addition to incredible new titles from our third-party partners across the globe. This year, the show will be digital only. Our live stream will bring you everything you'll need to know about what's next for Xbox, no matter where in the world you're watching. Immediately following the showcase, the Outer Worlds 2 Direct will bring you inside the walls of Obsidian Entertainment, revealing new gameplay, details, and developer insights straight from the people making the sequel to the award-winning first-person sci-fi RPG. Getting closer and closer, Raj.
Yeah.
A game that we maybe thought it's going to get pushed out. Maybe it still does. Who knows? But feels kind of like
11 minutes, a whole direct here. We're gonna see this game. This game's coming out. Obsidian's going 2 for 2 this year.
Getting a lot of info, Raj.
Crazy stuff. Where do you want to go here, right? Because I can talk about the Outer Worlds 2 element of it. I can just talk about the idea that Outer Worlds 2 is getting so much, praise and excitement behind the Xbox marketing machine here, right? Putting it right afterwards, after the Xbox showcase, it's a huge slot right there, right? Like that is reserved for Starfield before Black Ops 6, which was the first Xbox Game Pass Call of Duty game, right? And then now Outer Worlds 2. I was not expecting Outer Worlds 2 to have that slot. I expected, in my heart of hearts, maybe Gears of War. Maybe Gears of War is coming out this year. Maybe we do the big push there, right? So I think in my mind, that means that Gears of War is not coming out this year. I expected maybe even like a Fable or something like that, right? But Outer Worlds 2, that's kind of cool that this studio is getting that push behind it. I don't necessarily think it's as exciting. I don't know. What do you think?
Part of me wonders if they are just trying to set a formula for what these things will be. Hey, we'll have our big showcase, and afterwards, we'll give you a super deep dive on an upcoming big first-party title. And part of me wonders, are they up there in these offices going, should we put Outer Worlds 2 on this stage?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously more time, more advertising, but Starfield is the next big RPG from Bethesda. Call of Duty 6, that is massive. Or Black Ops 6, right? That is huge. I wonder if they were like, we have something here, might as well showcase it to kind of keep the formula going and get people excited about what's, I think, is going to be a really, really awesome RPG, especially after playing Outer Worlds 1 and replaying that recently this year. Not fully beating it, but still being like, wow, I really messed up in not giving this game all of my time. I am sort of surprised, like you are, by the stage that it's being put on. I think for a smaller sort of RPG that is not trying to be Starfield, it's not trying to be No Man's Sky, it's always going to be a more insular, sort of closed off experience with open zones, right? But I think it's pretty massive for someone like Obsidian to continue to get love because they are the ones that are continuously putting out great products.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me happy. I mean, I'm the same with you, right? I played Outer Worlds actually for the first time, I think last year, right? And I fucking fell in love with it. I had a great time. I was even playing on the Xbox One version because I didn't want to pay for the Series X version because it's only on Game Pass. Whatever. I had a great time with this, so I'm very excited. I'm very happy that they have the showcase. But it just makes it's interesting. It's interesting, and I'm glad that they're continuing the formula of like, hey, the game that we're showing is going to come out like pretty soon. We're not going to do a whole deep dive on a game that's coming out a year from now, right? These games are going to be, we're going to show the game, and then it's going to come out pretty soon afterwards, right? It is interesting in my mind that it wasn't a Call of Duty again. There was a little bit in my head of like, maybe that's just going to be the Call of Duty spot, right? Every year we're going to have the Xbox thing, we're going to have the Call of Duty thing. That made a lot of sense to me. I'm two minds of that. One, maybe they just want to make sure that, hey, we're spotlighting whatever big game that isn't Call of Duty's going to get the clicks anyways. It doesn't matter. But also, two, maybe the Call of Duty just isn't that exciting this year, right? Maybe they just don't have... Black Ops 6 was a huge quote-unquote revolution for what Call of Duty was. Yeah, no Omni movement. I mean, honestly, they're not going to have like that big thing where it's like, here's the big TM new movement system, new thing that we can really push here that is pushing forward Call of Duty. It's probably just going to be another Call of Duty.
No Soap McTavish.
Fuck.
You can also...
He might be back.
You can also only have so many FIFA and Madden moments at E3's, at EA's E3 presentation, you know what I mean? But at a certain point, Call of Duty doesn't need to be dove in deep into. It doesn't need to be deep dived.
I mean, they'll have their own thing, right? They'll have next, they'll have all that jazz.
But I think that this can possibly put Outer Worlds on a much larger stage, obviously, with a lot more eyes on it, to get people understanding these dudes really, really have an incredible portfolio. Outer Worlds 1, largely slept on by the masses, right? It's still a very popular game, obviously. I'm not trying to downplay it. It's well known within, if you're watching game talk shows or game podcasts.
Yeah.
But it's not that title. It doesn't have that sort of that prestige. Let's give it that prestige.
Yeah.
We put out Avowed earlier this year. We had a good amount of success there. Obviously not as much as I think that they would have hoped. I'm not sure where numbers are with Avowed. But for me, the way that I experience Avowed, going back to playing Outer Worlds and kind of playing them simultaneously, I was just like, wow, I kind of wish this was just Outer Worlds. I wish I was playing Outer Worlds 2 right now, because I didn't really vibe necessarily with the characters or a whole lot of the writing. And then I think it gets really pumped up and pushed into another level of quality later on that I really enjoyed and felt more of those sarcastic tonal shifts that the Outer Worlds is known to give you, right? The Outer Worlds is very much, it's a very, it's a parody on, not necessarily even a parody, but let's make fun of capitalistic corporations, a lot of satire, reminds you a lot of like GTA and how, everybody's just living a shitty life, but there's a lot of heart there in great moments. And I think I am looking forward to this way more than to Avowed. How much Avowed did you play?
Not much. I played a few hours of it and I dropped off pretty heavily because same thing, bro. I was like, I'm excited for Outer Worlds, but in Fantasy World. And I'm like, not really getting that as much, right? And then I see this 11 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, we're back. Like this is what I wanted. I just wanted Outer Worlds too. That's the reason why I dropped off of Avowed so hard. But I think eventually I will get back to it, push forward a little bit. But either way, like this to me is the most exciting thing. So I am excited for those people that have not played Outer Worlds or heard about it or are tangentially related to it to now get a look at it. But I also just a little bit scared of just like, I don't how do you pitch this game to like people that like, I don't know, like, is this going to actually help the game that much, or is it just going to be the same people that are like, oh, I saw this game and oh, it's not really what I'm looking for, move on, right? I don't know. Is this actually going to be the thing that pushes Outer Worlds 2 into this mega franchise, or is it just going to stay in the smaller, nicher side of the RPG sphere?
I think part of me wonders, are you just trying to get more of the Game Pass audience on it? Are you trying to get more people onto Game Pass to show them, look at this really high quality RPG with great character interactions, decision making. You are sort of role playing your character in this world. And by the way, it's also on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I think what Outer Worlds 2, this whole situation with it being after the showcase, I think you brought up a lot of great earlier points of what are we going to see with E-Day? What are we going to see with Fable? Perfect Dark.
Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden 4. Ninja Gaiden 4. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Sorry. I was thinking Ragebound, the side scroller. Yeah. But immediately I wonder, wow, are we really that far off from Perfect Dark and Fable?
I forgot about Perfect Dark.
It just really sort of makes me worry more about those. But then on the flip side, I go, Andy, don't worry. It's because Outer Worlds 2 is coming out very, very soon, and they want to really, really focus and push this. This is the moment to push right here for Outer Worlds 2. This is the marketing area.
Yeah, and I think Obsidian is owed this moment too, right? Like, I mean, they've just been working so hard on so many great games that they deserve at least this spot once, right? Of like, hey, this is our sequel. This is the thing that is going to perfect this Outer Worlds formula. This is the moment to give it the biggest spotlight ever. When I look back at this year, fucking Xbox had a great year so far. Like
they've been the Insomniac of Xbox. You know?
Yeah, for sure. But Xbox in total like has a great year lined up. It has had a great year already with South of Midnight, Avowed earlier on. Like they're doing well this year. So yeah, I'm not expecting Gears of War E-Day, even though it's on my Fantasy Critic, which might have been a mistake, but we never know. We never know.
There's still a prayer. There's still a hope and a prayer.
They don't need a Gears of War, right? They need just Outer Worlds to fill it up. They have what did I just say? Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out soon, right? So they have a good year lined up. I'm not worried about Xbox at all. Perfect Dark, that's another conversation. I also don't believe in that game. I just what we saw, that gameplay we saw, people were blown away by it. I was like, that doesn't look real. Like that doesn't look like a real game still. It does not. I look at that and I'm like, I don't see me playing that. That seems like a very, 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 very much a vertical slice if you can find one for E3 games. I don't know. Yeah, Fable, I'm not worried about too.
I don't think I disagree with that on the Perfect Dark take. But just one quick thing I want to point out on Avowed or on Outer Worlds 2. It looks awesome visually. Yeah. That was always one of my problems with Outer Worlds 1. When I was replaying it earlier this year, I installed so many damn mods. Visual stuff, and it looks really, really damn good. But it makes me really happy to see how much of an improvement the engine has gone through, how much of an improvement just art direction and lighting, because I think Outer Worlds 1 was pretty unattractive to look at. I never felt like, oh, wow, look at the visuals here. It just always felt...
a lot of muddiness.
It was really punched up also in spots. It felt like interior lighting was very lacking in a lot of spots, and even in these slower sort of sneak through moments where we see the character talking to NPCs, I think they're doing a great job with interiors and with just the way the lighting is working overall. So super stoked about that. That makes me happy because, again, I love the writing of Outer Worlds. I love the tone. I kind of love existing in that world. And if it's going to look better, I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah, this is what I want out of my RPGs.
Super exciting. Story number 2. Razer pauses direct laptop sales in the U.S. as new tariffs loom. Antonio, this comes from Antonio G. Di Benetto at The Verge. Razer's upcoming Blade 16 and other laptops are no longer available for pre-order or purchase on its U.S. site. The configurator for pre-ordering its new Blade 16 laptop was available as recently as April 1st, according to the Internet Archive, one day before the Trump administration announced sweeping U.S. tariffs on China, Taiwan, and others that make laptop components. When asked recently if tariffs might affect Razer prices or availability, its public relations manager, Andy Johnson, told The Verge, "We do not have a comment at this stage regarding tariffs." Razer may not be openly talking about the impact of tariffs. Oh, close quote, by the way. Razer may not be openly talking about the impact of tariffs, but Framework halted sales of its entry-level laptop 13 in the U.S. on April 7th, and Micron reportedly confirmed surcharges for its memory chips will apply once the tariffs take effect after midnight tonight. The direct link to the Blade 16 configurator now takes you to a 404 error page, and its product page only now has a Notify Me button instead of anywhere to submit your pre-order. While shopping for other laptops on Razer's site, only skins and accessories are available for purchase. Even a new laptop stand Razer announced today, which a press release said would be available now, only has a Notify Me button with no price listed anywhere. Meanwhile, the same laptop stand has a price of $99.99 Canadian on the Razer Canada site, where the Blade 16 configurator is still available. It's a similar story for Razer's site in other countries as well. We've contacted Razer for further comment on tariffs and asked for confirmation that it has paused sales, but it did not respond by the time of publication. This is gonna continue to happen. We're gonna keep on reading stories like this. This is probably the 12th time we've read a story like this. There'll be many, many more in the future. I was making a comment earlier to Roger that it's going to remind me of of Microsoft trying to buy Blizzard and Battle. What a nightmare saga that was for boring news coverage. And this is going to continue. But we fucking own the libs, man. We're winning.
Shit, we're fucking winning so hard, bro.
So winning
the part of this that I didn't know, which is not even a video game, I guess it's a gaming thing, is the Framework thing. Man, that sucks for that company. What a small company. I don't know if you know anything about Framework, y'all.
I do.
Yeah, you don't have one
bought
anymore.
one.
Yeah, but then you returned it.
I returned it because I'm waiting for. Well, I was waiting for a better one.
Now you can't get one.
And I legitimately was going to buy a better one. And this Framework 13, the press releases that were coming out on it before it came out was sort of hey, get a higher end laptop that's very affordable for students out there. Awesome color configurations, really, really neat, concept. It's not just you're not going to spend $2,000 on a laptop for your students. This is something that your young children of students will. Children of students. That doesn't make any sense, Roger.
I guess everyone's kind of children.
Very affordable,
you could be an old student.
Very, very affordable entry level laptop. And yeah, it sucks for a very small company.
And especially, if anyone doesn't know anything about Framework is a company that is based upon the ideals that you can repair and upgrade your laptops by yourself, right? So you can literally just get all the pieces and put together your laptop and save a bunch of money. It's a really cool concept. So that sucks for them. I've watched a lot of videos about that, and they're behind the scenes stuff. So that sucks for them. It sucks for Razer. And yeah, again, we're going to keep on getting this, and excited for tomorrow. We're going to get more news stories like this.
Yeah. We'll see what the next companies will be. I was already kind of bummed out because every time I see the new Priuses, Roger, I fantasize about getting a new Prius.
Oh shit! That means
not a new one. I've never had one. That means I can sell you my Honda Civic.
Fuck yeah, dude!
It's only got 23,000 miles on it, Roger.
That's a great deal.
I'm thinking like $33,000.
Shit, man. Okay. Well.
Tariffs. I'm being terrified. But every time I look at one of these cars, I'm like, God damn, they're gonna, car prices are already gonna.
Yeah.
They're already not great, and they're gonna just continue to get worse, which is
what
quite
Prius
a
were you
bummer.
looking at?
Huh?
What Prius were you looking at?
Just the brand new Priuses.
Were you looking at the ones that had like the solar panel roof? Have you seen that?
Oh no,
Sick.
They just look slick. I just love the body style of it. But yeah, this sucks. A lot of bad decisions being made everywhere, and you can't have your stock depleted if you don't have stock, Raj. You know what I mean?
Bro.
You know what I mean?
I got a lot of stock. I bought stock a few months ago.
If you're dumb as hell and a man child, you don't know anything about the stock market.
401k? What's that?
Yeah, what's that?
Man, we don't got one.
Story number 3. New PlayStation Portal update adds features to PS5 cloud streaming beta. This comes from Jordan Midler at VGC. Sony has added additional features to its PlayStation Portal cloud streaming beta test. The new features that will be added to the system in the update include the ability to sort games in the catalog screen, as well as the ability to capture gameplay. Images and videos captured during the streaming session will be automatically uploaded to the cloud server, which can be accessed from the PlayStation app. Captures will be stored for 14 days. Video clips up to 3 minutes in length will be supported, with the resolution for those clips locked at 1920 by 1080. A new queuing system has been implemented for when the streaming servers are full. An estimated wait time will not be shown to the player. When the wait expires, players will be automatically loaded into their game. Players will now be notified when their session is about to end due to inactivity, and a new feedback screen has been added so that players can rate streaming sessions after they end. PlayStation Portal's cloud streaming service, cloud streaming offering is still in beta. It's cool. Continuing to improve it. Continuing, for somebody who doesn't use a Portal but loves the body style and the feel of it, great to kind of, hey, this little surprise of a piece of hardware kind of caught us all by surprise. We weren't expecting it to sell this well. It's doing pretty damn well. Let's continue to invest in this because, we're going to get that PlayStation handheld one day, Roger. Dedicated one,
Yeah, my first thought with the Portal was that this was just going to become e-waste. That's when I taught Snowbike Mike about the term e-waste. And then he just started using the term e-waste for just regular trash. Which is incredible. Yeah. So he would just be like, he would throw away a can and be like, man, it's just a bunch of e-waste. I'm like, that's not what
how
that
you
means.
Use the word, yeah.
So I'm happy that, one, it's successful, and two, they're continuing to update it because, man, also one day we got to figure out how to jailbreak this fucking thing. I know people already have sort of, but like, if they can start putting some emulation on that, you know what I mean? Come on, just a little bit.
Okay, but what sort of hardware capabilities are we talking with this thing? I don't know what's on board with it.
Someone got GTA 3 running like in the first week of this thing coming out, so it has to have something going on.
Damn, they couldn't even do that with the Grand Theft Auto remasters.
That's so true. That's so true.
That's a tough little venture right there. This is great for people who are invested into that PlayStation ecosystem to continue to reward people for buying the damn hardware, because it's one of those, again, kind of a surprise for me. I did not expect this thing. I don't think a lot of people expected this device to sell really great, and I expected there to be a shitload of returns for people going, oh, wait, it's just a cloud thing?
Oh, the amount of times I've had to explain to, like, my high school friends of, like, oh, no, this is just a streaming thing. This is just a streaming thing.
And then Tim showed me Final Fantasy VII Rebirth playing from his house on the work Wi-Fi. I was like, wow, that's really impressive.
Cool.
What's it like to have good Wi-Fi?
Shit.
We don't know.
You know what's weird? I just noticed the other day.
You stood up, chat.
Because sometimes I like to look directly at, and my camera's also not working, so I might as well just look at you. I was like a good block away from our house, and I had a better signal of our Wi-Fi.
Oh, nice.
Than I do in my fucking
You guys might
bedroom.
be signing into the wrong Wi-Fi.
Fuck yeah, dude.
There's something in the walls.
I think there's adamantium in our walls.
There's something in the walls. Like, no matter what kind of route, if we get like a better route, like, it's not going to help. There's something in the walls.
Well, all you got to do is like Kevin in there.
I don't know.
Just like Kevin in the house. He'll set it up. He's very excited about it. Don't you worry about it.
No, I let Kevin
make
into our
content out
house
of it
once 8 years ago to help us move in a couch, and that'll be the only time.
He's going to Trojan horse Mike into there as well.
Oh,
let me fix the back of your...
Let me see the room. Let me see the room.
Mike had his chance.
Also, not to get on my high horse, everybody, but also thank you so much for having bad Wi-Fi, Andy, because you gave me your Logitech G Cloud.
I did.
That's a better console, guys. You guys just got to get the Logitech G Cloud. I mean, I understand it's a PlayStation thing and it just works seamlessly, but like, you can play all your PlayStation games remotely on the Logitech G Cloud, and also any other thing you want to do. You can emulate games. You can do all this stuff. It's like $140. Fucking play that.
On Steam Deck, you can install Chiaki for Deck.
Chiaki.
That's the way the guy says it in the tutorial, or in the YouTube tutorial. When you want to install a PlayStation.
I thought you were doing a Mr. Miyagi.
No, that's the way the guys... I think he's like from Sweden, maybe. I can't really place the accent. He's like, if you're going to install Chiaki for Deck... That's why he's... a few people will understand that reference. Because I need to install Chiaki for Deck.
Go to the ads. What are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing, Roger? We're doing our jobs. We're getting paid.
Oh.
What is going on?
It's a Daredevil set.
Oh, I didn't even see them down there.
Oh.
We're making money, and in order for us to stay employed, everybody, it's with your eyes and your ears, and with the help from our incredible sponsors. So let's hear from them right now.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. We all know that therapy can feel like a lofty investment, but we also know that there's nothing better to invest in than yourself. The state of your mind is just as important as your physical health. Let's talk numbers. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast. But with BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save on average up to 50% per session. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big on cost and on time. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Your well-being is worth it. Visit BetterHelp.com/kindafunny to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny. BetterHelp.com/kindafunny.
I have decided I'm going to put a 90-day hold on the tariffs. 90-day hold. That's more than 80 days, Roger. Tariffs have been put on hold.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
You heard it here first. Well, not China's.
Not China's.
China's is up.
Everything's going to be fixed.
China's still up. China's is up?
Yeah, it went up. Went up to 125% now.
Damn.
And it doesn't get a pause.
No.
He was pissing me off. I made it higher. Well, I mean, shoot. Hopefully, let's go check the Razer website.
let's just refresh the entire episode.
Let's see if we can refresh. I'm gonna check
check framework right now.
Check Toyota. See what's up the Prius is.
Andy Impulse buys a Prius.
Story number 4. Sony adds more animated PS5 backgrounds, including Ghost of Yotei.
Oh, that game's not even out yet.
This comes from Jordan Middler at VGC. Sony has quietly added animated PS5 backgrounds featuring Horizon, Demon Souls. Hey, Sony! Hey, Sony!
Yeah.
Okay, come over here. Let's talk real quick.
Talk to him.
Where is Demon Souls on PC?
Oh, that's what you want to talk
Where
about.
is it? Why? Is it China? Is it the tariffs? Fuck, man. Put it on PC. And Ghost of Yotei to select players. So a lot of cool backgrounds being put on there by a lot of their awesome games. Previously, PS5's Welcome Hub had one animated background, which featured Astrobot. Now backgrounds for Days Gone, Demon Souls, Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Horizon Forbidden West, and Lego Horizon Adventures. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Rise of the Ronin, and Stellar Blade have all been added, but are only available to certain users at the moment. What? Why?
What is going on behind the scenes in PlayStation with this, and then also the limited edition PlayStation 2 and 1 and 3 themes that have went away, but then they teased we're coming back, but then they're not back yet. And it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Nintendo, look, y'all. Look, we're gonna put up these themes. Nintendo killed it with that when they put the Mario collection for 30 days on sale, and they took it off the market. We gotta do that.
We gotta do that, but not charge any money.
You don't have to purchase the themes or anything. It's just like we're just gonna have it and then take it away for no reason.
Exactly.
And also, let's be honest, those themes sucked. They were not good themes.
Well, we don't see them animated.
They weren't they weren't implemented well.
No, they were bad themes.
Are you talking about the anniversary?
The PlayStation ones.
Oh, I never even saw
yeah,
them.
they would
do
cover
the sounds
even. So it would cover like the images. That would, like, when you like go over a like a game, it shows like the little key art. It would cover that key art because it would have like this weird like PNG transparent on top that was like showing some PlayStation stuff. It was weird.
That's weird.
Here's how you bring back themes.
Sounds
Sony is that you put in a back end setting where you can disable the like full picture of the game when you click over to the game square, and you can just keep the theme on. How about that?
Come on, how about that? Catch Me Outside.
Catch Me Outside. How about that?
They have taken everything from us. Didn't expect a Bad Baby reference.
2025 is back. We're up.
Tariffs are gone. Bad Baby is back.
We're so back, bro.
Yeah, very, very odd. I also put in a story in KFGD that we decided not to put in the show.
Oh, but you're making the executive decision.
But I'm making an executive decision just to bring it up because it happened when I was on the show with Greg the other day. And again, a tweet from Noel Bell. On Twitter, who says more details on the rumored Titanfall 3 game from last week's Apex leaker. Unreal Engine 5 single player almost complete, live service with battle passes, returning Apex characters. Stop talking about it. Nobel. Careful. Be careful what you're doing. I'm sick of Titanfall 3 supposed game existence rumors. No more. I don't want to hear the words together in a sentence ever again until we see a trailer for it.
Are you scared that they're going to just cancel it and break your heart?
I'm just tired of it. for the last 4 or 5 years, Roger. It's about
every
10
other
times a
fucking
year.
week, man.
And it's like it always happens when I'm on shows. And this time it's only because I'm bringing it up. But still, it's always a fucking Respawn person said.
Well, Jeff Grubb
Titanfall
said
3.
it's fake apparently.
Jeff Grubb says it's fake, and then somebody's gonna go. Jeff Grubb doesn't, and that's gonna be. Enough.
Okay, now let's keep you honest here. Where's the same energy for Hollow Knight? Like, what's going on there?
Because we've actually seen a trailer for that.
Yeah, but it's been like years of us talking
different.
about this thing.
Roger, first off, fuck yourself.
Why don't you grow the fuck up, Andy? Okay, why don't you grow up and have some consistency? If you have the same feelings about Titanfall, have the same feelings about Hollow Knight. How about Bloodborne? Oh, how about fucking Bloodborne?
My Honda Civic just went up to 38,000. Okay, Roger,
shit.
you're
God
not getting
damn
this
it.
sucker.
Fuck.
I require a much higher down payment
damn
on
it.
it. You're pissing me off, dude.
Shit.
Story number 5. Nintendo understands that some consumers won't be able to afford the Switch 2. Great.
I'm glad they understand that.
At least, hey, knowledge is power. At least they know. This comes from Brian at Nintendo Everything. While discussion surrounding Switch 2's price continues, Nintendo of America president Doug Bowser understands that some consumers may not be able to afford the system. And before I go further with the story, I just want to say, get us in your super chats because I haven't even mentioned that at all, and I would like this company to stay employed.
Oh.
Back to the story.
I thought you were going to do a thing of like, oh no, so then we can afford the Switch 2 thing.
Oh, for the pre. Oh, I see. Well, maybe, who knows? Maybe Nintendo Switch 2 goes back down to $399 or whatever, which wasn't even, an official price at any point. Bowser was speaking about the cost in a recent interview. For those interested in Nintendo's overall ecosystem, Bowser highlighted that it will continue to have Switch 1 available. New games for that console will also continue to launch heading into 2026. Bowser told the CBC,
Who was that, Andy?
That was Bowser.
No, who was that?
That was a King Bowser.
No, come on, man. Who was that?
Bowser told the CBC. Bowser told CBC as we
saw it coming, but it still got me so bad. It's got me so
Bowser,
Yeah, who does this Bowser sound like? It sounded like an actor. And I'm trying to fucking. I'm blanking on it.
That's so
kind of sounded like my Seth Rogen. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
Bowser told CBC, as we look at Nintendo Switch 2 and you think about the feature sets that I talked about, we believe that the pricing is appropriate for the value of the machine and the gameplay experience overall. We recognize there are some people that may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available. Oh,
wow, that's exciting.
they're making them on sale again. I thought they were going to take them off, Roger. So people will still have an opportunity to come to our gaming universe, be a part of these characters in these worlds, and see value, if you will, in whatever rung of the platform they'd come in.
Yeah, I made people have made the joke already, but when I saw the news story, I immediately went to the Don Matrix. Remember that? An Xbox One was coming out. He was like, well, we still got the 360 if you don't want to play online, right? Which was meme to death, and that was a shitty thing to say, right? Because that was something they could have changed, right?
Don't you all have phones?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was the thing of like turning off the online, right? So they could have changed that.
Right.
This to me, I'm like, what are you gonna say? You're fucking the CEO of the company. Like, what are you gonna say? Like, yeah, of course you're gonna be like, oh, I can't afford it. Oh man, we should have thought about that. We're gonna drop the price $100. Like, of course he's gonna be like, buy the other ones then because they're cheaper. So yeah, I mean, this is a nothing burger. It makes sense.
I need Doug Bowser to reply to people like a really angry sports coach.
Oh.
And just be like, that's a dumb question. I'm not going to answer it. Next question sort of thing.
I like that. Bring that energy.
You're totally right on here.
Yeah.
What are you expecting? This is an executive making a statement about his company saying, yeah, some people may not be able to afford it. Some people will always not be able to afford the thing you're putting out.
Yeah.
But hopefully they will buy the cheaper thing that has been on sale for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Or
and
most likely they already have it, and there's still support for it, right? Like Metroid Prime 4 is still coming to that, right?
Yeah, and this is also a pretty good answer just because also like in the Xbox 360 going to One era, there wasn't backwards compatibility out the box, right? So it didn't even make sense to buy the last one if you were going to buy the next one. This one, full backwards compatibility. If you buy everything on Switch 1, you're going to be able to bring it over to Switch 2. So again, not a bad answer here for what he's saying, but I understand how it is. It's a sensitive topic right now. Everyone's mad about the price.
Could have worded it better, probably.
For sure.
I got so distracted by an incredible comment from Kylo Rich who says, layoffs? Don't talk to me about layoffs. Layoffs? It's a famous sports quote from an old coach who went, playoffs? You talk to me about the playoffs? And it's also kind of Allen. You ever see the Allen Iverson one?
No.
I'm talking about practice, man. Talking about practice. We're not talking about a game. We're talking about practice. That's another very popular quote. I'm just here to bring the sports references that 6 people will enjoy. Story number 6.
6 people.
6 people.
Number 6.
I did want to refresh the super chats really, really quickly because I see a super chat from Alex Frazier who says, "Oh, the $2 super chat says read Doug Bowser quotes in a Trump voice, please." I will not do that. I will not do that. Thank you for the $2 super chat, though. A $2 super chat from Irk Thelmp. Every time I see a weird looking username, I'm scared I'm saying a slur.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm scared I'm saying something that is long been canceled. $2 super chat says Titanfall 3 is the new Half-Life 3.
No, Half-Life 3 is the new Half-Life 3.
Half-Life 3 is still Half-Life 3, correct. Cody Boone, $2 super chat says, did you guys see the Marathon ARG last week? I did see all of the internet popping off about this Marathon ARG and people deciphering the music and using Mozart's symphony to figure out what the... I love when Bungie gets in their bag with this shit. I am so pumped up for Marathon.
Pumped off.
I'm pumped off, I'm pumping off, and I'm pumped up, Roger. And the thing is, was I invited to play it? No, but I'm not mad at all.
No.
I'm not bothered by that, okay? You can look at me and be like, Andy's probably, I don't, a lot of my cool friends got to go play the game Marathon.
Close friends.
A lot of close friends of mine.
Friends.
I wasn't there, but I had stuff to do also, I had...
You were in New York?
Oh, shit.
I guess you were at the Nintendo thing.
Oh.
I had stuff to do because, I had to...
Chris!
to order Cheez-Its. I had to order my Cheez-Its because I was out.
Chris Anka was also in town.
Chris Anka was in town.
That was important.
Yeah, that was very important. So I'm not jealous or mad. I'm not mad, everybody.
No.
But this game, my goodness, I'm excited for Saturday for this big reveal.
Oh, it's on Saturday?
It's on Saturday, 10 a.m. We'll be talking all about it on Monday. The reason I'm super pumped up about it is obviously Bungie, new shooter. That really, really means something. But I can't think of a more fresh art style.
Yeah.
I can't. Just when you think sci-fi's been there, done that, even a game like Metal Eden feels fairly derivative, but it's got some new ideas visually. Marathon, I don't think there's been anything. Again, Bungie just kills it with their art direction and their art style and just aesthetics, and maybe it's just, hey, instead of neon green or instead of neon pink, replace it with neon green.
Sure.
There's still something about the visuals and the look of what they're going for that
color
just
palette
feels like the freshest shit you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped up.
Dude, that little moment of just like the first person, I'm like, fuck, if that game looks like that, holy shit.
I mean, this has got to be in-game visuals.
Oh, don't get me excited.
Yeah.
Something about Blue Blood also.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Cool.
It's really cool.
That little cat thing.
It's like iRobot.
Oh, yeah. They had like white blood, right?
Something like that.
Did they?
Pretty sure it was blue.
Oh, that's what the androids had in Alien.
That's what you think.
They have blue blood?
They had white blood.
Oh,
White
yes,
blood,
they did.
white
They
blood,
did. Spitting out.
So yeah, super pumped about Marathon. Thank you for allowing me to
Pumping
have
off.
the chance to just talk about Marathon and pump off with y'all. Riley with a $5 super chat says, we won't get Titanfall 3. I'm sorry, it sucks, but the way we'd get it is if Respawn left EA. But then EA will claim rights to Titanfall IP. Riley, I don't know if you heard me talk about, I don't want to see those words together ever again. I will Venmo you your $5 back. Kevin, get on it. Story number 6. The end of an era. The Molasses Flood has been absorbed into CD Projekt Red. This comes from Christopher at Game Developer. Total aside right here. I felt like I was saying the new chapter in an audiobook because it reminds me of listening to Jason Schreier's when I was reading that book with my ears and hearing The End of an Era.
The End of an Era.
Chapter 6.
Reading that book with my ears.
Yeah.
I get it.
It was a good book. It was a good read. Good read. Molasses Flood has been absorbed into parent company CD Projekt Red less than 4 hours after it was acquired by Cyberpunk and The Witcher developer.
4 years.
Huh?
4 years.
4 years. About to say 4 hours. Fucking fast.
I was like, damn. Holy shit.
What year is it? I was like, damn. That happened a long time ago, too. A notice on the studio website confirmed the news and explained the Molasses Flood has ceased operating as a separate legal entity. Doug Bowser says, we want to let you know. We want to let you know on April 1st, 2025. You can't be merging companies on April 1st, bro. That's got to be a rule. Shit. You can't do that shit. You got to wait for the second.
Everyone's got to take a day off.
You can't do that on the first, man. We want to let you know that on April 1st, 2025, the Molasses Flood, TMF, merged with CD Projekt Red, a company being part of the CD Projekt Group.
That's probably why they saved to announce it till later, because they didn't actually announce it on the first, But imagine the people getting the news on the first, like the employees. They probably knew.
That sucks.
Probably not.
The Molasses Flood was purchased by CD Projekt in 2021 for an undisclosed fee and tasked with creating a multiplayer title set in the Witcher universe. Work on the game, codenamed Project Sirius, appears to have stalled in recent years, with CD Projekt laying off around 29 developers at the Molasses Flood in May 2024 after deciding it needed to build a new framework for the spin-off. During a recent earnings call, CD Projekt said that the decision to absorb the Molasses Flood into its wider studio structure will ensure even better alignment in the scope and direction of Project Sirius, but will result in, quote, some changes in the project leadership, end quote. It's unclear whether those leadership changes are referring to voluntary departures or layoffs, but we do know that the Molasses Flood co-founder Damien Isla has chosen to leave the company. In a post on LinkedIn, Isla described the merger as the end of an era, end quote, but suggested it would be good and healthy for the Molasses Flood team in the long term. He also confirmed he wouldn't be following the company post-transition.
Yeah, this is always a mixed bag, right? It's so sad when a company that had its own identity and its own team is brought onto another team and then just slowly loses its identity and becomes part of the parent company. Just for the main idea of I like different studios with different visions and leadership that feels unique under a publisher. But it seems like that was getting in the way of them fully getting together with CD Projekt and creating something in the Witcher franchise, right? So it seems like this is a positive in terms of going in that direction, but it is sad to see that, and hopefully this doesn't lead to any layoffs in any form.
I would have loved to seen what the heck they were working on. I know they said the project stalled and has been pretty much defunct for a while, but I think it's such an interesting story coming from the Molasses Flood because of their past work and their catalog and having games that look nothing like a CD Projekt game. What the heck would a Witcher game have looked like in that universe? What were they capable of? It sucks. It reminds me of freaking Valve buying the In the Valley of the Gods developer.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the name of the developer.
No, yeah.
But the people that made Firewatch. It's another one of those situations where the parent company says, we're going to have you work on this, and then maybe, I also wouldn't doubt that whatever this project they're working on isn't just it wasn't working out things, it could have just been up top leadership going, games as a service is just not where we need to be. Look at the industry, look at the way things are moving. That is such a money pit to continue to pour funds into when a game comes out and then 7 months in you hear, player count is only this. People are angry because of balance, and then the game just sort of starts to fumble and flop. But yeah, interesting story. Sad for the Flame in the Flood. And sad that they won't continue to see their vision, but I got to assume they're just going to continue to work on other things under that umbrella and canceling this project, which, man, I cannot imagine.
Well, it doesn't say it was canceled necessarily, right? It just says they have to rework the framework of it. So.
Well, to me, whatever this project being stalled, I just think that there are so many people that have put so many years of their lives into something, and then to be like, hey, actually, we're going to buy you and kind of what you were working on. Let's just start from, it's like, whoa, dude, that was a lot of years in your prime. And then you hear about developers and game developers in certain studios going, I had an 8-year gap on my resume because I was working on whatever game that got canceled. I was working on Wonder Woman.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I feel like these stories happen way too often and can only discourage future people from wanting to get into game development.
Absolutely.
It's such a tough landscape out there. And that was pretty huge, Raj.
Shit.
Pretty huge news right there. But if I wanted to hear about the tiniest news, where would I go?
You'd go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Wii News.
Wii News?
We know, Lon, don't know about the 90-day tariffs. We talked all about it.
Yeah, but then someone also corrected us, said that it's 10% on every country now, not zero.
Oh, okay.
Good call.
10%, it's a big number. It's a round number. Wii News, The Last of Us has been renewed for Season 3 ahead of the Season 2 premiere. Cool.
Huge.
That's awesome. Already seeing a lot of reviews out there.
Yeah.
Simon Cardy from IGN. Simon, I know you're out there. He said
he didn't review it, but you just want to point out that
he's out there.
Yeah.
He's out there existing. No, he said that he really enjoyed it, but it wasn't as thrilling as Season 1. Next little Wii News item. Astrobot has won Best Game of the Year at the BAFTA Awards. Oi, prof. BAFTA's, huh?
Astro.
Shout out to Ben Starr dressing up as the Joker.
Yeah.
Jimbo. Yeah.
Jimbo.
Committing to the bit.
Committing to the bit. PS Plus extra premium games for April 2025 have been announced. On the extra tier, Hogwarts Legacy, Expelliarmus, Blueprints, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, Tape 2.
Damn. When the fuck is that coming out? That's crazy.
EA Sports PGA Tour, Battlefield, and Plate Up. And in the Classics tier, in the Classic session, Alone in the Dark 2 and War of the Monsters. This next little Wii news comes from Nobel via Nikkei. Nintendo has decided to postpone the release of the Nintendo Switch 2 in China due to some ongoing government regulation issues. From VGC, Vampire Survivors developer says it had to abandon its plans to add cross-save to PlayStation consoles due to a legal issue. What?
What?
How so?
Expand on that one, actually.
Man, like, that's just, like, can I start using that when you guys ever ask me difficult questions? Man, like,
It's illegal.
I would love
issue.
to answer that, but it's a legal
Tariffs.
issue.
It's a legal issue.
I just got to assume it was somebody over at Sony being like, look, I can't have my wife catching up to me in her progress.
Yeah.
She played on Xbox a lot.
That's-
I got to still beat her in my leaderboards.
That's so weird.
Despelote launches May 1st on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Switch at a later date. That game looks really, really neat. And finally, Disney Illusion Island launches May 30th on Xbox Series X, or Series consoles, PlayStation 5, and PC. And that's it for the Wii news.
That's exciting right
Roger,
there.
can you get You're Wrong while I go back into some Super Chats?
Sure thing.
Tell me what we got wrong in a bit after I read these couple of Super Chats. $2 Super Chat from Kebab says, say Expelliarmus like King Bowser. I'm not a fucking jukebox.
Do it!
I don't even know how Bowser talks. I was just making noises. All I think is, ho, 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 when he makes that sound whenever he dies.
That was Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, the pussy no pasa. That was
Oh,
Sebulba.
shit. What the fuck was that?
Sebulba,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Said pussy at some point in there.
The pussy no pasa. This is Pod Racer. Any other sounds? Street Shadow, $5 Super Chat says, just wanted to highlight from this chat, Astrobot wins another game. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. And Helldivers 2, best multiplayer. Cool. Shout out to Helldivers 2.
I love that.
Riley, 21, gifted another $2 Super Chat and said, this is in response to me saying, I will Venmo you back your money for mentioning Titanfall 3. Riley responds with a $2 Super Chat and says, nah, keep it. $5 well spent.
That's nice.
Thank you. Thanks for funding our company. Birthday tax from B Blanco. Y'all crack me up every day. Thank you. Happy birthday to you. I hope you're not Benny Blanco.
Oh, you got beef.
It got beef, man.
Oh, shit.
Selena Gomez, I miss you. And that's it for our Super Chats, Roger. What did we get wrong today?
2 people wrote in that are not you're wrong, so you don't get to be read out here. One person wrote, the Phoenix. Roger mentioned the Logitech G Cloud being a good option because it's only $140, but it's actually $300. You're wrong because it was put up on Wario 64 that it was on sale for $140. So that was my reference there. Yes, it is not MSRP of $140, but you can purchase it for $140. So.
$5 Super Chat from Mr. Hawks has just got a call back for a final interview tomorrow after having the second interview a few hours ago. Wish me luck, y'all. Good luck, Mr. Hawks.
Good luck.
If you need me as a reference, let me know. I'll do my best. Everybody, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about. jazz, Roger.
No, I was just laughing at the idea of like you being a reference on, and then someone trying to call you before noon on a Sunday.
No answer.
Well, like it's either calling him before noon or him seeing the call and just being like, "Oof,
Here's the
talking
thing.
with me.
I don't know if I want
He answers as Bowser.
Here's the thing. I'm down for, he's a good employee, but in Gotham, not so much. I'm down for the bit that Andy sleeps in all the time and sleeps till 3 a.m. to keep going.
Shit.
Right, that's my personality. But Barrett, when was the last time you saw me sleeping that late?
Dude, I've been giving you a lot of shit, but I have been noticing a lot lately, specifically in the last couple months.
I've been getting up at 10 in the morning.
You're getting up and out.
Getting up
by
and
like
going
10,
Up
10:30.
and out?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
He goes on walks?
It's always like the Andy. He never leaves his stream room.
Yeah.
I mean,
Partly true,
but
like every weekend, I'm fucking out and about.
Yeah.
I am walking. I'm getting my steps in.
Wow.
he comes back 2 hours later, and then I don't see him for 14
I'm
hours.
soaking in the sun, and then I'll
Smoking a joint.
stop at this store,
Yeah.
smoke a heater. I'm all over the city, walking
Yeah.
around, going to seeing all cool sites, awesome restaurants.
Seeing them though.
The Golden Gate Bridges in San Francisco. There's a lot of crazy
It's like a
stuff out there.
montage every day. Like, wow, look at this.
In front of a Whole Foods. Trader Joe's selfie. This has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show, really important, tomorrow, 10 or 9 a.m. It is the Triple I Initiative Showcase, which has, apparently, a look at the new Katana Zero DLC, sequel, whatever it may be. Triple I Initiative Showcase.
What time is it that out?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
I'm going to be reacting on my channel. A little plug.
Whoa,
I'm off tomorrow,
whoa,
big
whoa.
dog. I'm off tomorrow.
Whoa.
You better be offline by 10 a.m.
bro.
Oh, I will be.
We're kicking you off.
Oh, I will be.
Because I'm going back to bed.
Everybody knows I don't cross stream. Mm-hmm. I'm not Mike Howard,
Shit. Mike will be live right as we're live. I'm doing a game and news show at 10 a.m. It's my day off.
Enjoy the Gamescast next and the stream after. But until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.